Does this color palette look familiar? You may have seen me use it before. It's the exact same paint. It's my never-ending paints. So I'm going to level my canvas, and we're going to get started by adding a little something to this paint because we got to change it up a little bit. We're going to be adding some Vallejo Pearl Medium and doing a pearl pour. To get started, we're going to be using a 12 by 16 canvas, and I've painted around the edges a color that I've kind of become obsessed with. It is Prussian blue, but it is Prussian blue phthalo, so it has a little bit more of a green tint to it than just a dark blue tint to it. And I did actually have to mix more of this because I've been using it as a base color and I only mixed so much, but it's the only color that I actually had to mix more of. The rest of these are just basically never-ending paint supply. I don't know why. I guess I just don't use enough of it. I think I'm going to go ahead and turn my canvas to portrait. It'll be easier to work with for me. And all of my paints today are mixed with Floetrol, Liquitex pouring medium, and water. That's all. And it's fairly thick. At least the colors that I'm going to put down first are thick. As you saw a little bit earlier, my color that's going over the top of this pearl pour is actually going to be fairly thin, but these are a little bit more on the thick side. And I'm not sure how much blue I want to use here. It may end up all being blue because I am going to have to pour this off, and the blue is going to travel, but it's a very pretty blue. It's a nice metallic blue. This actually started out as ultramarine blue before I added the pearl to it. The other colors I'm using today are Sky Blue Light from Amsterdam, Titanium White, Cadmium Yellow Metallic, Quinacridone Nickel Azo Gold from Golden, and a little bit of the Rich Iridescent Gold. So that's what I'm going to be using, other than my top coat, which of course is the Amsterdam Prussian Blue Phthalo. I'm hoping this is going to come out like I think it will, but we shall see. But as you well know, sometimes pour painting doesn't always come out like you think it's going to. Let's speed things up, and you can watch the method to my madness. Just a little bit more blue on the bottom, just in case. That's probably going to go off anyway. And we're going to do just a little bit of tilting. So I'm going to go ahead and tilt it. You can see that my paint is pretty thick, but I think it's going to work out okay. Just going to move it so it's covering more of my canvas. I am starting to see a little bit of a landscape in this. I'll have to remember that if I want to do a landscape pour. Kind of looks like the sky and clouds and canyons or mountains. I don't know if you're like me and you're always seeing things in your paintings. I guess I'm not good with just total abstraction. I always have to see something. Let's do a little bit more of stretching on the paint. Kind of bringing it down just a little bit more toward the bottom. And then we'll be golden to go ahead and put the top pour over it. Now it's time for the top layer of the paint. I may not have quite enough. I didn't want to mix more than my small cup because it just felt like I had way too much paint, and I hate wasting paint. I'm going to go ahead and put this in a few areas, which is going to give me a little bit of a different look, but I'm going to go with it Even if I don't quite have enough, we're going to see how it turns out. The cool thing about this is I get to make a lot of skins from this type of painting, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of skin I get from these pearl paints. Okay. Let's go ahead and pour off a lot of the paint. I never waste my paint. I always turn it into a skin and try to use it. Occasionally I will have a few drops that get over on the table. I don't save those. I'm not that much of a purist, but I do like to save my paint. Pearl pours waste a lot of paint. Just going to cover my canvas. This is kind of cool in and of itself, but we are going to go ahead and move that paint around. Okay, I'm just about done. You can see all the paint down there on the silicone mat, and I will show you what I'm getting. Okay, already getting a lot of pearls, and this is really neat. I don't think I'm going to add any more paint down at the bottom. I'm really liking what's happening here. I will let you see that. I'll move my hand in just a second. It's starting to look kind of like an underwater theme, like coral coming up off the ocean floor. I told you I'm always looking for things in my paintings, something concrete. I just can't help it. That's really interesting. I am going to add just a little paint on the sides where the paint has got a little bit thin. And that's why I painted the sides, so that if my paint got thin, I wouldn't have an issue. There we go. And I do need to torch this so I can get some more pearls to develop. I'm not seeing a lot of pearls from the other colors because I pretty much poured most of that off, but definitely in the blue. Just gonna move it around just a little bit. Kind of see it as I pick it up. I'm really liking this. This is different. I've never created anything quite like this as far as looking like something coming up off the ocean bottom. You can let me know in the comments below what you see in the painting. I love how the light blue and the white are really acting as highlights in this. I can see a little bit of the light glare there. I'm going to go ahead and torch this and get even more pearls. Most of my pearls are this really pretty blue. So let me take you down to see what I am seeing. Looks like little bubbles coming up, or maybe little creatures, who knows, but really cool. I really like this. I am really liking it. Let me know what you think in the comments below for the wet, but I'm also going to show you the dry result and see how it dries, because sometimes it doesn't dry exactly like you think it is going to, but I will include it next. And here is the dry result. I let it dry in place and it dried exactly like you saw it when it was wet. So it's absolutely magical and I love it. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Until next time, bye now.